Welcome to the ITM Podcast.
This is episode 201 of the ITM Podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the CLNS Media Network, brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network. My name is Joey Capone. That's Scott Neville. And the Red Sox won one of these games, dude. How you doing?
Dude, would have been cooler if they won 2 or 3, but hey, you really can't blame them at all for the group that's going out. They are trying. That's the best you can say about the current roster.
Listen, there's worse things you could say about a given team. This team's trying. They're doing their best. And they pulled one out. And that's all that really matters at the end of the day, isn't it?
Just took a peek. If you had to guess where we are in the AL East, where would you guess?
Oh God! Well, everybody said they were going to be fifth, right? Because there's 5 teams, right? 5.
Yeah, there's 5.
So yeah, everyone said last place, so they've got to be probably number 5, right?
We're actually smack dab in the middle. We're in 3rd place in the American League East, which is, given the fact that we have the most people on the Major League IL in baseball, and it's not role players. We'll take it.
Nope. And honestly, you could add 2 more guys to that IL because Devers is not 100%, and Yoshida is deceased. I think is what happened. I think we got a weekend at Bernie's situation going on with Masataka Yoshida, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about. But yeah, that's impressive. This might be the largest IL. Is it in history ever? Period. Because I would be stunned to believe that there are teams that regularly have more than 14. Is it 14 people from the active roster on the IL right now?
I believe it's 15 with Heineman, whatever. The guy that was there for 5 seconds. It's not really.
How the hell do you not know Tyler Heineman?
He's just, because he's a AAA catcher that stinks, Joey, and he's not a homegrown guy. He's been here for a cup of coffee, signed in the off season or whatever, and he's not one to know.
No, he's not really worth knowing. No.
But he is on the big league IL because he was on the big league roster for a day and then directly went to the IL for a hamstring injury that is totally real, Joey.
It's real? He did it? So what you're telling me is I should believe that he played 9 innings of baseball and tore his hamstring?
Otherwise, the Red Sox would be penalized.
Oh, do tell. Do explain.
Well, I mean, you can't just pretend that people are on the IL that aren't on the IL.
Who's talking about that? Why would they have done that?
Roster construction is really an intricate process, and sometimes there needs to be things that are just slightly outside the rules of the game for the greater good of the team.
Any aspiring GMs out there, listen up. These are some big tips. I mean, don't listen up now. I hope you were listening up because I don't have any tips, but I hope you were listening up. Pay attention to what the Red Sox are doing. I'll tell you that. And if you're a Cleveland Guardians fan, good luck trying to sweep us. Or, well, not good luck. Good job trying. Good trying. Good trying out there. Cope.
Can you imagine losing to this lineup? Did you even see who we put out there? LOL at Cleveland, infield errors I can't relate. Oh my God, that's embarrassing. Pablo Reyes owns you, and Daniel Valdez owns you. Will Europe owns you? David Hamilton owns you. What the hell is a Guardian anyway?
Yeah. They just keep coming, Scott.
That little guitar thing at the end was awesome. And, that's one of those, I saw that. I got a sneak preview that after the first series, and I kind of forgot about some of the lyrics there. And that was exciting to watch. It was like watching the same, first time again. So, and the video really needs to be watched. Like, you need to watch the music video.
Yeah. Go subscribe to the YouTube. Watch it there. we're going to be doing some kind of giveaway for the YouTube. We got to get people over to the YouTube. I understand we haven't had a YouTube, so people are used to just listening to the show and not watching the show. And the account that the videos are going on, brand new account. So there's three years of ITM, 3 different YouTubes. So it's chugging along to try to get going here. So we got to move. We got to get the people over to YouTube. So
also,
I don't know, we'll do some kind of giveaway. Tickets? Do you guys want tickets? You want to go to these games?
I give you a credential. I'll let you walk right on the field.
Why not? Yeah. Change up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that didn't sound like. Did you hear that?
Yeah, it didn't sound like you.
That was crazy. Sorry, I let my real voice come out there. Almost let my real name slip while I was at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Tickets. We'll do tickets, credentials. Who knows? A meet and greet with Sam Kennedy. We'll give away something.
Meet and greet with us.
That works. That might be easier to do.
It's a lot easier to do, but nobody would want to do it. That's the problem.
Pavilion 4. We're always there. If you need us, we'll be up there. Are we going to the Cubs series?
Nope. I guess I can make a last effort bid, but that was one of those ones where we were like, yeah, we'll talk about it. Then we didn't talk about it, and
I remember us talking about it, but
no, but we left it. We talked about it, but we left it as like we'll text like to figure it out. Like that wasn't like a definitive. We're going on this day.
Well,
do it. We were kind of like on the fence, and I was like, let me know.
Well, I think I did. Yeah. I remember being like, let's go Sunday.
Yeah, but then I was like, yeah, we'll see.
So it was you who was like, we'll see.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, I just,
okay.
I like I don't know. I just, I guess I'll wear that one. My thing is always now, it's just that if we don't have enough of a heads up, they're just going to be like, all of a sudden they're like, we'll send one of you. And then I'm like, and now they're going to send me. And I'm going to be like, I don't want to go to a game.
Why do you think they would send you?
Because people made a really big deal out of, including myself, that it wasn't me on opening day. And I don't think that's going to happen again based on the reaction that the things they had to deal with from SI following that happening.
Well, I wrote a great piece because of the credentials that they gave me. Go on over to si.com/Red Sox or whatever it is.
Nope, that's not even right. That's /MLB/Red Sox. There's a dash between red and Sox. It almost broke the whole site. That was fun.
It's really, really close. So you'll find it. Go read it. I'm not going to buy tickets to this Cubs game, so we're not going to go. We're not going to go. If you're not going to put in the work to get us there, that's
next
fine.
Time, maybe.
2 years from now. 2 years from now is the next time the Cubbies come here. So not a big deal. Doesn't.
Was it a specific Cubs intrigue? I thought it was just a homestand. I didn't know that you specifically wanted to see the Cubs. Well, shucks, that's my fault.
Here's the thing: tickets are $28. So, and if you wait till the day of, they get to like $9. And if you use a promo code with one of these ticket people, you can get in for free. That's just a little tip there. I'm sure everybody knows that, but
I believe code ITM on SeatGeek still works.
Does it really?
We can find out. But I mean, I never. Know. Yeah, I don't know.
Let us know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're supposed to be here. They were supposed to be back. Whatever.
Wow, that's good. That's on. I mean, I don't do those anymore. That's on a new parent company. I'm not transferring. I didn't. I told them we talked about us coming back, but then I was like, I don't do this anymore. So it's someone else's hands I've never met before.
Are you ready for a segue and a half? You ready for this? You ready how smooth this transition is going to be?
It's going to be good because you announced that you're about to transition.
That's what makes it extra smooth is that I called out, hey, I'm about to segue. Speaking of people who are supposed to be here, but are really not, but might still technically be here, but are not really here. Masataka Yoshida. Want to talk about him?
Yeah, I feel like I might have a contrarian take here.
We're going to disagree. Is this going to happen? We're going to fight?
I don't know. I don't know where you stand. I remember reading a tweet where you told the world where you stood, and I don't remember what it was because it was sneaky talk. It didn't. That's not a lot. It's like Snapchat. It disappears after 24 hours. So
that's what sneaky talk is supposed to be. Yeah.
So, yeah, you want to lay it down, the scenario first, and then I'll pick it apart?
Yeah. Before today, Masataka Yoshida had gotten 1 plate appearance over 5 days, has now played in 4 games in the last 10 days. And through his translator on Wednesday, told the media he was where I'm trying to find the exact quote here. Wasn't happy, chose his words very carefully through his translator, and said, "It's hard to put into words how I feel right now." It's hard to explain how I feel right now. Sorry. Some clear frustration from his diminished role, says Chris Cotillo of the Mexican Times. Yeah. Let's just get your thoughts, bro, because it's all over. There's like 15 chapters to this story, although the story is nothing. The story is that nothing's happening and we don't know anything. But it's cool. It's an onion, bro. There's layers. We're peeling them back as we go here day by day. A little more.
Yeah, so I think, in a way I agree with Cora with this is a non-story. In a way I understand why everybody's like, how is you saying that this is a non-story? But what it comes down to for me is there's a lot of people saying, how is Yoshida not in this lineup? But then the guys that they point to, like in a vacuum, yeah, how is Valdez or Hamilton in the lineup over Yoshida or Reese McGuire, whatever? But the thing is, he doesn't play those positions. And if Devers was 100%, I would be on the general fan side on this one. But it comes down to this. Pablo Reyes has to play third, not because they want Pablo Reyes in there over Yoshida, but because Devers' knee is not 100%. So Devers can't play the field. He can only DH. Would you rather have Devers in the lineup or Yoshida? Joey, this is for you.
Personally?
Yeah.
I'd have to look at their numbers.
You don't have like a gut feeling.
My gut would probably say the $300 million franchise cornerstone, probably him. Yeah.
Rafael Devers. Yeah. And then, okay, so then it becomes, okay, you understand why Devers is in the DH spot. I would say the same argument for O'Neill the day that he had to take up the DH spot because he's literally the best hitter in the AL right now, except for Mike Trout, maybe because he has 10 home runs now because he's doing Mike Trout stuff. But so you take that, and now you look at the outfield. You can erase Duran because Yoshida's certainly not playing center.
No.
Really, you can erase Abreu because he's in right field, and for some reason, we haven't even tried to play right field with Yoshida. Like, that's not even a thought that's been broached.
Also, I think it's fair to say that Abreu's bat is hot enough to maybe not take him out.
Well, that I wasn't even. Yeah, that's part of it as well.
Yeah.
So then now we're looking left field. So we're looking at Refsnyder and O'Neill. O'Neill, again, better bat than Yoshida right now. He doesn't ground, 30 or 60% of his balls into the ground like Yoshida. And while they're both definitely like MLB caliber players, you're taking O'Neill over Yoshida for offense and defense, I would say. And then Refsnyder, that's a real argument. Now it comes down to Yoshida is he able to play corner outfield in a pinch? I think he's there, like at the point where like I don't want him out there every day, but he certainly is better than JD, who used to play 50 games for us, Cora, in the 2018 team. What Refsnyder versus a lefty, which was the argument on Wednesday, Refsnyder he's got like a 1400 OPS overall, and it goes up with lefties. So I would put Refsnyder versus a lefty over Yoshida, who is a lefty versus a lefty. So then it comes down to basically just the only scenario where Yoshida gets out there where Devers is not 100% is Refsnyder versus a righty, which is what we saw today. I know believe Refsnyder's 9 for 20 this year or something like that. So your thoughts?
Here's the thing. It's tough to argue with the logic around the Yoshida stuff because everything you just said, all impenetrable logic. Strong as hell. Brick wall of logic you just threw up. And I'm still going to huff and puff at it because, like...
Here we go.
Because Masataka Yoshida just should be out there. And that's the thing is that's the end of the argument too. Like that's it.
Yeah,
That's all
I
I got.
agree. But it's also like if Devers can play third tomorrow, he is back.
In place of
I guess like
in
Pablo,
the DH role?
he would. Yes.
Here's the thing. I mean, from the beginning, I was never a fan of them giving up on his defense. From the beginning, I thought like one, Yoshida just doesn't profile as a DH. He's not a strong enough bat to be a DH. He's just not. I don't think so. I think you can also get something out of him in the field. I think that too much was made of his bad defense last year.
Disagree.
I think a lot of the numbers would as well. But it was also his first full year out there. I don't think it was like that he's useless. I don't remember any plays last year where it was like, oh my God, get this guy out of the field, which is a feeling we're very familiar with. Like you'd think if that happened that we would remember it because we can point to basically everybody up and down this lineup to be like, yep, like I remember an error he made. I remember an error he made. I remember bobble there, a bad throw there, ground ball through the legs for him. Like,
you
and I don't
David
have any
Hamilton doesn't pass the eye test?
Is that what you're asking me if David Hamilton passes the eye test defensively?
You're telling me that you can just like look at him and be like, I don't even got to look at the metrics first. I can just tell just based on watching the games that he's bad defensively.
I remember hearing he won Defensive Player of the Year in the minors last year, which was the only metric I cared about.
Egg on your face.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they just give that to anybody. So
I will say, Yoshida, I agree with your take about the defense where it didn't come up a ton. There were times where it was like you should have got to that ball, but it wasn't like a glaring, it's not like David Hamilton where you're like he's wrecking the game right now. Harder to do in left field. But I agree that he passes the eye test more than the metric test. But there were certainly balls where I'm like, I wish he didn't let that drop in. Like the ones that he would.
Sure.
This is the eye test thing where it's like he doesn't have the range and he lets it, drop in front and he picks it no problem and throws it in. It looks like it just blooped in, but it's like Duran, O'Neill, don't let that bloop in, and they probably don't have to dive for it either. Also, I will say,
Willier dives for that ball and doesn't get it is what happens. But yeah.
Yeah, that happened one time. Yeah, he's also did some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I agree. I mean, you got to look cool sometimes, and Abreu is about looking cool, and I love that. And if you can slow down a little bit to make the diving catch over just making the catch look easy, all for it. As long as you catch it, style points out there.
And we need some of those. We need some vibe points. Remember how this team was like the Boston Vibe Sox, and now they're not.
I'm not sure if they even dance before the games anymore.
I was going to bring that up, bro. I've been wanting to tweet that all week. Are they still dancing before the games or did they give it up? Because if they gave it up, that actually matters to me. That's a big no-no.
I agree.
If you start doing that, you can't stop.
But what if they don't have anybody to teach it anymore, Like whoever the dance circle used to be, I guess there's really it's not like a coordinated move there. But I mean, what if like everyone that started it is down and then they're like, oh man, like we didn't, it's like, you didn't pass it down to the new guys.
I feel like I remember seeing Pablo and everyone.
Abreu also very involved. It wasn't a smart take. It was more just to point out the injuries. Yeah, Cutter Crawford also involved. Duran. There's plenty of people still there.
Definitely tries. We got to get him dancing on here because it's just special what that man can do to a beat. But I haven't seen it. If they're doing it, they're not showing it on the broadcast anymore, which is this is a stupid. Listen, I'm coming at you guys this week with all heart and no brain. That upsets me.
Shocker.
If you stop dancing when you had dancing, I'm not a fan of it. Anyway. I think just circling back like 5 minutes when I said I wasn't a fan of Yoshida, them giving up on Yoshida's defense from the get, just because he's been here for 1 year. Give him some time. I believe in the argument that the Major League Baseball season is just more demanding than that of professional baseball in Japan. A lot more travel, not as much time off, different time zones, longer season. I don't know. Give the guy a second. And there were spurts last year where he was the best hitter in baseball for a week. So for longer than a week too. And I think it was like May last year.
It was probably close to 2 months. I almost feel like he had a good half, like his first half was incredible, and he sucked for the first month of the first half. So he probably
Yeah.
had a 2 month stretch where he just absolutely dominated.
And that's the other thing. It's like, oh, did he get off to a slow start this year? Is there any precedent for that? Can we look anywhere else where that might have happened? But, oh, did he do it last year? Are these like the same exact numbers that he put up last April? Give him a minute. I think it's demoralizing, honestly. Like trying to think from his position to come here and then
Definitely.
be like, I don't know, it's tough, man.
But I will say when you look at a guy first year coming over, you want him to be better defensively from year 1 to year 2. You got to remember, one, he's 30, so it's not like a 24-year-old that they're just giving up on. Like, he probably is who he is from a defensive perspective. He could certainly get a little better at playing the wall, whatever. But 140 games or whatever he played last year was enough to figure out the wall, in my opinion. And I also think it's a matter of right now. Look at the group they have and how many guys are better defensively in the outfield than him. I mean, Rafaela, if you want to count him, but then you certainly have Duran, you certainly have Abreu, you certainly have O'Neill, Ref Snyder. Like, those guys are all way better defensively. And honestly, frankly, right now, if you with the defense factoring in, better overall players.
If you want to regularly keep them out there, that's something. But like a day where Devers is apparently still hurt, not hurt enough to go in the IL, but he's too hurt to play his position, and he needs to DH. That seems like a perfect day to me. Right, a getaway day. Like, why do you not then stick him in one game? You're
That I
playing a
can
team
see.
that's red hot. It's like it just makes too much sense. And like you said, it's to put Ref Snyder in there against a righty. Weird, especially when Yoshida up to today, like I said, had one plate appearance in 5 games, 5 days. It's like
Yes.
you're starting to take away his playing time in general, and that's just
Yeah, but I think this is going to be a non-factor when Devers says he can play defense, which was supposed to be today, and likely, maybe tomorrow. It's hard to say because they keep saying he's going to play Tuesday, and then I need an extra day. Now he's ready, but he's just going to DH, and then it's just going to be 1 day DHing, and now it's 2. But whenever Devers, if he does just go back to playing third and he is healthy, I think Yoshida would be in the lineup tomorrow. I think that's why Cora is getting frustrated. And I think what made it so much worse, which is just a coincidence, is they gave him a few days off, which is something Cora always does when guys start struggling. He used to do it to Benintendi all the time too. He's done it, to a lot of guys, regulars that have a 10-game stretch or whatever that is brutal. Give them 2 days off in a row, let them reset, and then get them back in there. They did that, and then immediately needed to give the DH spot to O'Neill and Devers. So I think that compounded and made it look like a 10-day absence instead of a 4-day absence.
so you're saying you think this is all nothing. You think this isn't them giving up on him and them throwing in the towel saying he doesn't work here. This bat profile, this is a Heim guy. This isn't our guy. We don't believe in him the same way. You think this is just they went to give him a couple days off and then the situation made it such that he's not playing for a little bit.
Yes, I do think the one thing you can pull from this, though, is what you were referring to earlier, that they definitely don't feel good about him in the field. I think that part's a little strange because, like I said, like usually, and again, maybe they just don't value the bat as much, but like he was, Cora was comfortable a few years ago putting JD in the outfield. So the fact that in the World Series, that's a little different. They have a DH, but still, he missed the ball completely. And he played like 50 games that year. So Yoshida's definitely better than JD Martinez defensively. So he didn't have the
JD
bat.
couldn't
He
even
wasn't
walk out to the outfield.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little different though because that guy was hitting 30-plus bombs a year and hitting 300. So I guess that's it. But like I said, I think like you said, actually, a game like today, I'm not like seeing Yoshida in left and being like, oh boy, the way I'm seeing Hamilton at shortstop. I don't expect something bad to happen. I do prefer O'Neill out there. but I want them both hitting. So I do think the only thing you can take away from this is that they really don't trust him in the field, other than a scenario that is, like that one where they lost their DH emptied the whole bench, and then he had to play left field because Reese McGuire got ejected. I think that's what it's going to take now.
There's also
or injuries
where There's also a game in here where they DH'd Connor Wong over him. That's important to remember. I don't want that to get swept under the rug. They DH'd Connor Wong.
He's a pretty better hitter right now. That's the thing that's tough about the Yoshida argument, is that the guys they're putting in instead, it's like, can you really argue against them head to head? Like, when he had to make that choice, he made the right choice. And it's tough because you're thinking, Yoshida's a dog too. I also will say something that does feel important in this. There were multiple pinch hit at bats this series where they put him in leverage situations to get a hit. Like Cora put him in on today. I think it was today with 2 on.
Yeah.
He's not saying this guy can't hit, and I think that's why he's getting frustrated. Because there was 2 points in the series where he pinch hit in legitimately like big spots. That's showing confidence in his bat. I think it would just, would you rather have O'Neill or Yoshida? Would you rather have Devers or Yoshida? Like, that was a situation he was faced with. He made pretty easy decisions, in my opinion. And I think that's why he's so frustrated with that reporters that are covering the team every day can't seem to figure that out and just want to make a story out of it.
Yeah. I mean, when you have an $18 million a year guy sitting this long without an injury and he's getting frustrated, like that is all the ingredients of a story. Like, of course you're going to write about it, and it's going to, because it does ostensibly at face value. Like that's weird. And it does make you want to go like, what's going on here? But as much as I hate the argument from the outside of like, well, the roster construction just doesn't allow for him to have a spot. Like, when you break it down, like we kind of have, it is tough. It is tough to say, like, stick Yoshida at second or something. Like, there's just no realistic option. They already moved the guy from the outfield.
If he could play first, he's in there every day.
So that's another thing, is that Ref Snyder.
That's true. That's the best point. Yeah, that's the best point you've made all show. That's maybe in the history of the show, because you're usually not very good. But yeah, they keep talking about how Ref Snyder could play first, and then if they moved him over Dahlbeck, and then you have Yoshida in left, that I agree with. I hadn't thought of that point. That's a good point, Joey. Point for Yoshida.
That's the thing, is because like they're leaving out. Listen, all right, I don't want to have to bust out sneaky talk this early into the episode. It's 27 minutes into a 3-hour show, but I'm gonna do it.
A what?
3-hour show. We're missing the NFL draft tonight. Sneaky talk real quick. Sneaky talk. It's kind of tough to be given everyday at bats to Bobby Dahlbeck and be sitting Masataka Yoshida. I understand those things aren't related, but they kind of are.
You made them are.
I made them are.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Ref Snyder can play first, then like
you made them are.
Bringing Bobby out there, who, by the way, 2-game hit streak for Bobby Dahlbeck. Sound the alarms.
He ripped one. Yeah, he ripped. Oh, all right. Hey,
let's go. Did I freeze?
Wow.
Oh no,
you froze, but I can hear you. Oh, you're good.
We got more. We got more balloons here.
I don't know. Last time you
confetti. Yeah. Come on. Whatever. All right. Giving it too many commands. Can't keep doing that. I'm freezing. All right. Yeah. Before we dive into all this and break down Bobby Dahlbeck's at bats pitch by pitch, which Scott has offered to do, he has all of the StatCast data on every pitch that our good friend Robert Dahlbeck has seen this year. Let's take a quick break to hear from our good friends over at Prize Picks.
Prize Picks is America's #1 fantasy sports app with more than 3 million members. It is the easiest and most exciting way to get on the action while you watch your favorite sports and players. You just pick more or less on 2 or more player stats and watch the winnings roll in. Prize Picks is so easy to play. I can make my Celtic picks and make my entry in less than 60 seconds. Quick withdrawals and easy gameplay and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 fantasy sports app. Celtics and NBA fans, you can get in on Prize Picks in 30 states across the country, including California, Texas, and Georgia. On Prize Picks this week, I'm selecting Jason Tatum to dish out more than 5 assists and his teammate Jaylen Brown to have more than 22.5 points. Download the app today and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy. Prize Picks.
All right, Scott, break it down, buddy. What's your thoughts? Give me your thoughts. Bobby's everyday first baseman. Cora has said it. He said, that's our guy. That's our first baseman. We don't need another addition. We got Bob.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you're really sticking with me the whole Ref Snyder thing. That's really throwing me off. In my head, I've been like, we're stuck with this. We're stuck with this. Now I have something to be angry about every night. A couple of things, I mean, defensively, he might be the best player in the league. People made a big stink out of the play where Rafaela, barehanded a ball and threw it to Dahlbeck, the one that got overturned. That was originally called safe and then overturned out. And people were giving Rafaela a ton of credit for that, and I can't for the life of me figure it out because he threw that ball away in the dugout. That ball should have gone in the dugout. If Bobby Dahlbeck wasn't 6'5" and somehow capable of doing a split, there is no chance that that ball ends up anywhere but in the dugout or in this, second row, and we have a guy on second. Rafaela should have gotten hate for that, not praise. That was a terrible throw. Cool that he was able to pick a ball. That's awesome. And then he turned a great double play today. Offensively, I really like what he did. I like what he did in the finale there. He said, I'm going to try. In the classic, we got 3 balls here. I'm just going to run to first base, see what happens. That's negotiating. Didn't work out. You got to start somewhere. He said, let me try. I'll give you, I'll do 3 balls. And then they said, nope, you're going to have to come back here when no deal. And then he said, all right. And then he just roped one down the third base line and I got a hit and said, that's what you get. If I was going to give you, we were going to meet, we're going to settle. Now I'm taking you to court. And he did.
Yeah. Keep tossing, buddy. Keep tossing. See what happens.
Yeah.
You're not keep throwing me pitches.
I already hit one that was close to a home run. Should have counted for me. They should have given me that.
They absolutely should have. Dude, the sound I made. Dude,
that was it?
Also, I forgot the ball you're talking about that he roped down the third base line. I forgot about that. That was a good touch. I forgot about that because I was like, did he really get a hold of one? Don't look it up. He did. He got around on one. Woo! OPS over 200. Do what you will with that.
Oh, yeah. For a second there, I was thinking OPS plus, and I was like, wow, that was a recovery. But no, OPS. Okay, yeah. So
no, I wouldn't look at his OPS plus if I was you. I wouldn't look. It's a small sample size. So
it starts with a negative sign. I'll tell you
that'll
that.
even out. You know what's tough is that when Bob goes up there, they put the actual average stats. They don't put like, sometimes up to it. Yeah, they don't put like his blood sugar, which looks really like good. His
defensive run saved when he's stepping up to the plate, which is probably like 1 at this point.
Yeah, they could do that. They could put up his 21 stats. They could be nicer about it because sometimes they'll put 2 for 11 or whatever. Once if you're not qualified, and they're like, nah, Bob, this is a qualified bat, and he's hitting 052. So that's a little tough to see. I wish they would stop doing that, but also I don't think that's even his stats anymore. The quick little Bobby checkup. This is what the people want to hear.
He's hitting over 050, right? Definitely.
Dude, I'm not sure that he is. No, he's hitting 054.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over 050. Easily over 050. Cleared it by a ton. He had room to work with. He could strike out again.
I'm sure he will. 206 OPS. Not OPS plus. OPS. 206 OPS.
That's cool.
Rafael Devers, dude. We talked about him a little bit a couple minutes ago.
Still good.
But still good. He's back. He's hitting the ball. I will say this. Amidst all this frustration around him, it is good to just see him come back and be like, I can still crush the ball. And something about Devers homers always feel like surprises, even though they shouldn't. There's just always something about like, I don't know, the second inning of a game against the Guardians. It's like, oh, cool. All right. Well, wasn't banking on that coming. So I don't know. Raffy still feels like Raffy. But last episode, was telling you how done I am with the well actuallys. We got another well actually with him not sitting or with him not playing the field. Do you think, does that change? Does he just magically start playing the field again? Or do we give this guy an IL stint? Do we give him the 10-day, like rest up your knee, see a doctor? Or is this just going to be a persistent thing all year? Because that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So I think what should have happened is they, stopped playing him in sprint training when his shoulder hurt, and that would have been just like a sick idea, in my opinion.
That would have been cool.
And then when it progressed, and then the knee thing happened, I definitely think a 15-day wouldn't have killed him. But playing him might. And now I do think we're in a situation where, I do think he plays third probably next series. And then I think he goes back to DHing after maybe a day off. And I do think this is just going to be a thing all season, especially kind of ominous. Maybe I missed it. Do we know what his knee problem is? Like,
No.
He's usually like, I mean, there was no IL stint, so I guess there was no injury announcement. But usually there is like hey, he's dealing with this minor thing, and there was never like a announcement for that. So it's kind of hard to tell because like, how do you? They just keep asking him like everything Cora said has been like, this is how he was feeling yesterday. This is how he feels today.
Yeah.
There's been no medical part of it, seemingly. It's just been how he wakes up and feels.
Well, they did say he was getting an MRI. And then nobody ever asked like, what happened with the imaging.
Mm-hmm.
They just said, yeah, he's going to get an MRI. And then 3 days later, we're like, yeah, he's probably good Tuesday. Like, well, what happened? Could you tell us what the doctor saw? Could you tell us any of that? I don't know. That would be, but again, like, what are they supposed to say? Like, we're concerned about
paying attention.
Like,
As of Cora was like,
I don't know what they're supposed to actually go into if they don't have like a diagnosis. They can't be like, well, we're looking at this ligament, I don't know. It's kind of hard to.
I don't know. He's kind of fine. He said a bunch of stuff at me. He was talking for a long time. I've just been asking Devers how he feels every day. I don't know. It was over my head.
They are relying a lot on how the guys feel. Just asking them their medical opinions. They're doing the same thing with Casas.
More so than ever.
I love every Cora quote about Casas. They're awesome. It's true panic. I really do love seeing the genuine human emotion that Cora displays when he's talking about Triston Casas. Because he'll be like, he's going to be gone for a long time. I don't know.
It's so bad, dude. It's so bad.
I don't know if he's ever going to walk again.
I saw the X-ray and I passed out. That's how bad it is. And I have no problem with like blood or anything like that. And it was just an X-ray anyway. But like I'm fine. I love gruesome stuff. I saw this X-ray. I passed out. That's how bad it is.
You guys can go see him, but you might throw up. I saw him this morning and I got queasy. I had to get out of there. And then you ask Triston too, and he's like, tell my mother I love her. Yeah. Tell my father I love him. I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. I'm gone. Yeah.
For a rib fracture, that felt like a lot.
What's weird is, dude, okay, here's my question. He said he started to feel it in Cleveland, right? Or no, against Cleveland last week in Boston. Yep. Then it was a swing during the Pirates series where it like really hurt him. And he was like, whoa, I can't take another at bat. How do you doesn't that feel like it would have been not a bone then? If it's like something that's a little hurt and then you make it worse, it's like, would he have a tiny rib fracture and then he made it bigger? Does that not feel wrong?
Yeah, the only thing I could think of, were those back-to-back series? They were, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it was like, unless it was like the last at bat of the Cleveland series and the first at bat of Pittsburgh. I don't think it was. Wait, Pittsburgh was game 2. Yeah. Never mind. That was a dumb take. Shocker. Yeah, no, I mean, the only thing is like maybe it fractured more. I don't know. Yeah, we're not the right two. We're not the right two for this. I don't know.
It's just what it feels like, right? Like, what? I don't know. It's like, how do you go out and play with a broken bone and then come back and be like, hey, I broke it more? I don't know. Maybe that's not what happened.
Maybe he broke it, but then he really he broke it, you know?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
All right, so we nailed that discussion. If
Yeah.
anybody has any
Okay.
more injuries
Perfect.
they want to send our way, we'll kill that. We'll crush those.
But all they did was say, all Cora did around Casas was say, it's going to be a while. It's going to be a
Yeah,
while. How
it's
long is a
so
while?
bad.
I don't know. What do you think when you hear it's going to be a while?
I still think like June is in play. I feel like that's the earliest it could be.
That feels right. That feels right. And then late June, they'll be like, probably the All-Star break. And then he'll come back a little before the All-Star break, but he won't look the same.
It's weird because when I think rib, I think that's not going to be that long. But then I think torque for swinging, and I think you're going to have to. That's going to be really healed before you can start swinging a bat and delivering 100+ exit velocities.
Yeah. I like
I
that.
still think June.
I like that Triston, when asked about it, was like, I'm a big, strong guy with a very strong swing. I produce a lot of torque. And when you swing as hard as me, these things happen. Because I'm very
Yeah, it's
strong.
crazy. He's not getting nearly as much hate as Chris Sale breaking a rib throwing or whatever he broke. It was a rib.
Yeah, well, that was like Chris Sale's 17th injury in a month.
I know.
So
Still.
Yeah. It's weird. But I think I don't know, man. I hear a while, I'm like, he's done for the year, essentially. Like he'll be back at some point, and I just won't expect the same from him.
Over, under, or push June 15th. Over would be later than June 15th.
That's what I was about to ask. How do you go over under a date?
Yeah.
Over later than June 15th.
I'll go under. I'll just.
Yeah.
I'm basing it on nothing, but you know, my instinct would say that he could be back first half of June.
Hope you're right. I hope you're right. Now, believe it or not, you're gonna be wowed by this, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
We got another injury to talk about. This whole show. This whole show is, why isn't this guy playing? Why this guy's hurt? This guy's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's not coming back. When do you think this guy's coming back? Because that's the team. That's the year. So get used to it. That's the year. That's what we do here. Brayan Bello, 15-day lat tightness. That's what Garrett Whitlock went on the IL with. This 15-day IL, retroactive to April 21st. What's your over-under on him coming back 15 days after the 21st, which is May 4th?
Oh, definitely over. These guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And now the instinct would be, why would you retroactive if you don't think he could come back earlier? But I also know that with pitchers, they baby them so hard. They got to throw 60 feet, then they got to throw 90 feet. Then they get on the mound, they throw one pitch, and then 2 days later they throw two pitches, and they got to get up to 70 whatever. And you got to do rehab, and then you got to do a minor league. You know, it's a mess.
I mean, Liam Hendricks today on the broadcast was talking about how he's throwing 100 pitches. Was that what it was? He was like throwing 100 pitches twice a week. And that sounds like, I think that's what it was. And I was like, does that not mean he's like ready to come back right now? And it's like, no, he's still 4 months out.
Why would he ever build up to 100 pitches? That doesn't make any sense. Was it 100 throws?
Might be 100 throws.
I think it might have been that, because I heard that interview. I thought he said something like throwing 6 times a week or something. I don't know. One of us is.
I heard a bunch of numbers. That's definitely for sure. But the numbers that he said made me go like, oh, then is he like good to come back? Is he like gonna be back by the All-Star break? No, he's not. Because like you said, they baby him for a long time and they want to make sure they're totally good. Remember, Pivetta wasn't even supposed to go on the IL. Pivetta was supposed to miss like a start, and then we'll never hear from him again. He's in the 7th layer of hell, dude. We're never hearing from him again.
Yeah, and that's just, the Bello thing was just so out of left field, to use a baseball phrase. Well, it came out of nowhere. Like, there was no indication of injury at any point, and then it was just like, oh yeah, okay, like, why not? And then they were like, it's okay. We don't even need another starter because we already have one internally. His name's Chase Anderson. and we can't wait to see what he does. I have a take on that. I don't know. We are not. It seems like
on
today's not going to
Chase.
be a game by game. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing game by game, but sure, yeah, no. If you got a Chase Anderson thought, dude, I'll talk Chase Anderson for hours, dude. I love that dude.
Okay, yeah, that's not that much of a talk. So it doesn't at this point in my brain. The fact that he lost the game for us single-handedly is not even the most infuriating part for me. What makes me so insanely mad is that dickhead and his stats are going to go against the starter ERA numbers. So starter ERA is going to be 5 or add 5 earned and 1 2/3. That's going to count as a start. That's a start. That goes against the starting group. So we probably don't lead the league. Now we're up to, we're second in the league in this and third in the league in this because he is an asshole. Dude, it's 2-2. You got J-Ram on deck. Just throw a strike. Holy crap. Oh, man. Just throw a fastball. I know we don't throw fastballs, but, you're going to suck anyway. Just hope that, a great hitter goes 3 for 10. Just throw something down the middle. You got the guy. And then don't do it to Ramirez. Whatever. I'm fine. I said it. I didn't care that we lost today.
I mean, it's also a little bit on Reese. You can give a little bit to Reese because, that foul tip from J-Ram that he should have held on to, that's the end of the inning.
Everyone freaked out about that, and I agree. Absolutely, obviously, that ends the inning. But that's an athletic play, athletic plays, you can get so mad to a point, but mental errors are ones that are in your control. Reaction times are what they are. That guy, Chase Anderson, from 2-2 to the batter before Ramirez, made a mistake on just about every pitch. There were, just the decisions, the pitch locations, and yes, Reese McGuire has a part in that as well, obviously, but just not having a feel for the game as a 36-year-old and being like, you know what, let me try this here. Let me just really you know what I'm going for right now? I'm going for pitch movement, A 2-2 slider, a 3-2 slider, and an 0-0 slider are supposed to be very different pitches. Same with the changeup. 0-2, throw it as filthy as you can. A get me over changeup is very different than an 0-2 changeup, and he somehow doesn't know that yet. Infuriating. And then he threw 3 straight balls to Ramirez and got himself in such a bad spot to the point where he just said, you know what? 10th pitch is following everything. I still need to throw a strike because I threw 3 balls immediately. Right down the middle.
Let's just go for it.
Yeah.
Let's just give it a go. It's funny when you got a guy on the mound who maybe isn't a major leaguer or a long-time major leaguer or currently major league caliber, I guess. Let's put it that way. You see it in execution more than anything else. Bases loaded, tight game, whatever. Losing control, losing command. Like those things, a guy can still maintain outward composure. And it's not till, like you said, 2-3 pitches in a row where you're like, oh, dude, come on. And writing the course on that is just, I think, damn near impossible. Once you veer off course, it's like getting the speed wobbles on a motorcycle or a bike. You ever go downhill on a bike a little too fast and your handlebars start to
buddy, I've crashed into a mailbox going downhill on a bike too fast.
There you go.
I went right through that thing.
That sounds like out of a 2000s Nickelodeon movie.
It was around that time as well, yeah.
Listen, you know what I'm talking about then. Once you start to get those speed wobbles, you're not righting the ship. And I don't know. I just knew the whole time. I mean, even people said when Reese dropped it, I knew something bad's going to happen. I was stunned we got there. When I saw J-Ram come up, I was like, okay, at least 2 of these runs are coming home now. Because he, like you said, the end of that at bat for whoever was in front of him, Naylor. Is Naylor in front of him?
No, Naylor was no, it was somebody that was not nearly as good. Naylor, I would have been less upset about.
Naylor's not
good. Let me check.
I do not like Josh Naylor.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a different take. It was. Yeah, of course. Let me get this guy's first name. I believe it's Tyler. Tyler Freeman.
Tyler Freeman.
221.
Right.
That was the guy you had to be really careful with so you could get to Ramirez. That was the guy.
Right. Just walk him
And
at that point.
Here's the thing. I understand that you're not going to have pinpoint location every day, but
Yeah.
As a big leaguer, there were certain decisions being made on that mound that was what was upsetting me. I understand the one that went, the balls that go, 6 feet higher than intended that's not mental, but you also got to be able to make adjustments in the big leagues pitch to pitch for physical things. That's all mental to a degree. It's release point. It's pitch grip. It's so many things. And as a 36-year-old, I feel like you should have that one figured out for what works for you to get back on track. And that was a disaster.
It's ugly. And it's just so reminiscent of the past 2 years. There's just always games where like some guy loses it, and like you see a mound visit, and I mean at least last year, like you see Dave Bush come out, and you're like, this isn't gonna do shit. Dave Bush is gonna tell him throw strikes. It's not gonna matter. This game's over. This guy's about to give up 5 in the next, before he gets 2 outs. And that's exactly what happened there. Some other little notes here, unless you had more that you wanted to get into about the nitty gritties of the game, because my notes are very general here. I don't want to be diving into too much from my end. If you have stuff, by all means.
I don't have anything to like dive into. I think one thing that showed the state of the team was the attempted failed Valdez to David Hamilton to Connor Wong double play with Connor Wong at first, David Hamilton at shortstop, and Valdez at second. I think that really tells you everything you need to know about the current state of the team and how much this is not how Breslow drew it up in terms of roster construction and how many injuries. Like I said, there becomes a point where this isn't even Breslow's fault. You'd love depth. I think from a pitching side, we're still in the this is Breslow's fault camp, but a lot of injuries to the infield, and I don't really think that many teams could sustain that. Also, nobody worse in MLB history at catching a ball from the catcher than David Hamilton. Holy shit, is that guy bad at trying to tag players? I mean, he just doesn't squeeze. You just gonna squeeze the glove. It happens every time he's out there.
He doesn't hold tags. He doesn't hold on to the ball. Doesn't apply great tags. He's obsessed with making sure the umpire knows that he has the ball. He'll do that. He'll take a tag off while a guy is getting his hand off the base.
Yeah, because it only happens one after every 10. So yeah, he's excited when he holds onto the ball. It's not even to the ump. Yeah. It's holy crap! I got it. Look. I actually got it. He's looking at the closest person to him, saying, "Look what I did."
Will Middlebrooks
I've been trying that trick all day.
Will Middlebrooks today is like, yeah, not a great throw from Connor Wong here. It's on the other side of the bag, and yeah, Hamilton just got to move quick there to get that tag over, and the ball unfortunately squeezes out.
They keep giving him credit because a quick tag is different than a normal tag. As in, like, you just gotta like smack them with it really fast. And I get that, but you can squeeze and hit at the same time. Like, it's not one movement isn't hurting you from doing the other. It's not like you're losing a step because you gotta like squeeze and go right and then left, and you don't have time to make those. It's just do both. It doesn't take any more time to squeeze.
And how spoiled can we be that we're like, not a great throw from Connor Wong when it's 6 inches off the ground. Just 6 inches to the wrong side of the bag. Like, you've seen other catchers throw down? Have we seen other catchers throw down? Like, the time in which Connor Wong gets the ball to second base and is off his target by 9 inches. It's like, I think we can take that. I don't think that we need to be throwing that at him. I think we can maybe put a little bit on David Hamilton, maybe not being as defensively well-rounded as we thought he might be. Whatever. You know what I hate is I'm starting to come to terms with the fact like this is the team. And like I'm going to be watching Manuel Valdez a lot. I'm going to be watching David Hamilton a lot. I'm going to be watching Pablo Reyes a lot. And it works for a bit. But like today, Sox are down 1, 2 on, 2 out, Valdez at the plate. And it just hit me like this is not an anomaly. This is not like, oh, your 9 hitter is up there.
1-9 hitter. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't like, oh, damn, like, if he can just get on base, then we can get back up to the top of the order and whatever. Like that guy's like your 6-7 hitter. Like that's the middle of your order. And like there's a handful of guys like this. Like there are going to be big moments wherein you need guys to come through. But the odds are, the roll of the dice is that the guy who's going to come up there is, respectfully a bum. So
it's actually, I had the exact same thought today, and I also came to the conclusion that the one guy I wanted to play right now is Wilyer Abreu, which is funny. And, Devers, obviously, you're going to feel good about. He's been hot the last 2 games. But overall, lately, I would say the last, year and a half, I haven't been as, oh, here we go. Mainly because it's a bit, when you're talking about a 2-out situation, you're talking about really just who has the highest batting average. A lot of those situations, you just need a hit or, something to go through. And at that point, you want the guy that's hitting 330 with no home runs than a guy that can hit 40 and, might, be a little too aggressive. Obviously, Devers does both. He's like a career 280 hitter. But, yeah, I think it's Abreu, it's Devers. Duran's been struggling, but I see still like one of those guys, and he came through that, perfect, broke out of the streak or the skid at the perfect time. Didn't end up helping us win, but they did a good job today at chipping away, which was something I did like to see. Would totally win that game if Bello is healthy. Towards your point, the one thing I'll say that I'm upset that I've gotten to, and it could go away if they really start to slide, but where they're basically hanging around slightly above 500, I am starting to get to the point where I'm like, man, this team when they get Bello, when they get Pivetta, when Grissom is real close. I had somebody tell me I keep saying Grisham, and I'm gonna do that, and I want somebody to hit me with an electric collar or something. Grissom, he's real close. He's supposed to come back versus the Giants. You get Pivetta, you get Bello back. I mean, Whitlock.
Is Grissom's that close?
Mexican Times Chris Castillo said that he won't be ready for the Cubs series, and that Cora implied that he would be then ready by the Giants series, but it wasn't as factual as that. He has played around 5 games, and he's playing again Friday in Worcester. So he's at 18 at bats. So he should be cool. I'm kind of surprised, honestly. I guess now we're at the point where it's like playing full games, not DHing as much, playing back-to-backs, and they're kind of babying it. But yeah, he's very close. And Pavetta's supposed to be not long after. That was the other thing. It was those two are supposed to come back very soon.
I've just assumed everybody's gone for good.
Yeah.
Just because I think that's the safer thing to do.
Yeah. But this team hangs around long enough. You get Bello back, Pivetta, Grissom, Casas down the line. Who cares? The Dodgers don't look that strong right now. The Astros are 7-19. Who's really in the way right now? The Yankees? Yeah, Judge stinks right now. Okay, did they add Soto so it doesn't even matter? Yeah, but and obviously when you do those projections, you're obviously assuming no one else is going to get hurt.
Right. Well, I think what they're doing is getting it all out of the way now.
Yeah,
all taking longer IL stints to make sure they're 100% before they come back.
We got Yoshida on the bench. That's like a top prospect. We're just waiting on. Wait till second half. We're gonna call up
someone.
Ooh,
Teal?
Richard Fitz.
Why not?
Probably should have been called up today, if we're being honest.
People have been wanting to see Kelly. I don't know. People have been wanting to see Kelly.
No, Zach Kelly's fine, but that would be like if you had a starter ready to go.
Yeah.
Bring up Kelly. I'm not ready to DFA Chase Anderson because the role he's actually in, I'm fine with. Mm-hmm. But I would have preferred a starter.
You need a guy. You need a guy who you can toss in there when shit's already in the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I agree. That's why I grabbed that take before I unleashed it.
It's nice to have that guy too. It's nice when you can recognize it and you can categorize him, pigeonhole him, and be like, there he is. Just bring him out. Let him finish the game. 4 innings. I don't care. Let him have it.
9-out save. Yeah, 9-out save or 9-out. We're down by 12.
Yep.
Finish the game. If you throw 150 pitches, we don't care. We're not going to need you for 7 more days.
Yeah. Keep on. Yeah. Hey, enjoy every moment in the spotlight.
But now he's in the rotation.
Any update on Whitlock?
He's supposed to be after Grissom, he's supposed to be after Pivetta, who's after Grissom. So third in the order, I believe.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the hole.
Right. So probably May, maybe even end of the first week of May, probably on. We'll probably know. We're probably in that range. I don't know. Who cares, dude? He's gonna throw one pitch and be hurt again. That guy's always. I don't even get excited. He's a great start, but he's a guy I'm not excited about. Pivetta coming back matters. Bello coming back matters.
Yeah.
Grissom matters just because he's replacing a 140 hitter, and that's really the only beacon of light we have left.
In the same vein, I mean, that's why I want Whitlock back to eat up those innings so Chase Anderson isn't in your fucking rotation.
That's also fair.
That's all I mean. That's all I care. I'm not like, damn, I want to see what he's capable of. It's like, no, I just want like somebody to eat innings that isn't.
But Cooper's got like a 2 ERA.
Yeah, Cooper's all right. He's got to work on his look. I don't like the turtleneck.
It was a little exaggerated. How it wasn't that cold.
No, it really wasn't. Have you heard him talk?
I don't believe so because I have nothing.
You have no thoughts on it? You would have a thought on it. If you had heard him speak, you would have a thought on it. Nobody in the world, shout out Cooper Leonard, nobody in the world has ever sounded more like a Cooper. Dude talks like he's he's a Cooper, like a stoner in like a 2007 comedy. Yeah, and my splitter was like, I don't know, it's like wasn't breaking. I was like, what is happening right now? He's really good, dude. He's fun. He's fun to listen to. He's a Cooper through and through. So maybe don't change up his look. Let him just do his thing, I guess. I don't know.
I liked it. He looked like he was pitching on opening day in Alaska. It was awesome.
It was also black while they were wearing like navy blue. It's
yeah. Ugh. That was the Tom Brady. That's what Tom Brady used to do. You think Tom Brady sucks too?
Listen, it worked on Tom. Tom wore Uggs, dude. Tom was the man. Tom could rock anything.
Tom also was like in Buffalo in like December in a football game. So yeah, different.
This was Cleveland. It's Cleveland in April. I think you're okay.
It was chilly.
It wasn't that chilly.
Nippy. It was nippy.
Okay.
Would you give me nippy? It wasn't chilly. Would you give me nippy?
I would say brisk. Will that meet you in the middle on brisk?
Okay, we'll meet in the middle. Yeah. All right.
A brisk
I'm okay with brisk. Yeah.
Did you fall in love with Progressive Field like I told you would?
I did like Progressive Field. I mean, I guess I have. I have one complaint with it though.
I do too. So let's hear it.
Their backstop is ridiculous. Is that was what you're gonna say? Okay,
that's what I was gonna say.
Is insanely large.
It's bad
for no reason. Like you're in the front row, you're so far. Yeah. And if you are the fans, you're far enough to not be in the camera well. Like that's shot. It like that's so far. Like your front row seats, and you're like, I need glasses.
Yeah, that's the one problem is like, and the thing is, I don't think it was always like that. I think they changed it like a few years back because I remember the 16 World Series, and there were fans behind home. And now they're just not. There's just no fans in the shot, and it makes the game a little tougher to watch. Just like there's not energy, there's not people there. You can't people watch. You know, you can't keep your eyes on the guy in the blue shirt. You know, he's having another beer. He's kind of getting a little wobbly in his seat. There's nothing to watch that way, you know, or somebody with a funny sign. Maybe somebody's wearing a really funny costume, and you're like, look at that funny guy's a banana suit. Those are always fun. You ever keep an eye out for those guys, Scott?
You like the simple things, you know, Joey. That's the thing about Joey. I watch the game.
But hey, good for you, man. Remember Kike wore the bananas, so he was so funny.
Yeah, everybody loved him.
Yeah. Shout out Ed Hand for just continuing to be Ed Hand, by the way. Not that was relevant. That's just a thought I had. I think it's cool that he publicly shared some of my good friend's DMs this week. I think that was a really cool move of him. That's very professional. Did you see that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I mean, he's the peak of professionalism. That's why he didn't like me talking bad about Kike on his way out, even though Kike had beef with some of the most respected people in the city. And then shit on his teammates, was mean to the media. His own teammates had to settle him down.
To be fair, what Ed did was kind of classy, because what he did was he cropped it in a way that you couldn't see who sent the DM, and then he said Steve in the comment, but like he wouldn't like the profile picture or anything like that. Like he cut that out.
I just thought that was a weird move. I was like, why would you do that?
Well, that probably tells me that he probably sent something before. Hey, can I come on section 10 or something like that? Something along those lines, probably.
Do you think that he said something like that? You think that he would do that?
Certainly. Yeah.
I bet he's here. How about this? Ready for this? Sneaky talk. I bet he's in a lot of people's DMs.
Oh.
Any idea who I could be talking about, Scott?
Yeah, I do, but I don't.
Yeah, that's funny. Sometimes I forget this show is public.
I don't know the guy.
Connor Wong, you don't need to. Connor Wong is a really good hitter. 4 hits, 2 homers in the second game of this series. That's really good. Tanner Houck's a very good pitcher. Went 6 after his complete games. Did you think that he might do it again? Did you think that there was a chance that he was going to have 2 complete games back to back?
Yep. I mean, maybe we were it was a little premature for that, like you got to get a little bit deeper in that game. But yeah, he was rolling. I will say when he gave up the run, I looked at a different Steve who has not been attacking people in DMs. Well, maybe he has. I don't know. But it's, I haven't checked his phone lately. I usually check his phone, but I haven't done it this week. I usually have parental controls on, but I've been busy. But I looked at him and I was like, yeah, that's 15 innings that he went scoreless before that run right there. And that actually might not be true, because I don't know how he ended the outing before the complete game. It might have been even longer than that.
Probably. You know what? I'll look it up right now. But the time was flying again, dude. It was like an hour in. I'm pretty sure they were in like the 6th inning. I was like, this might happen again. It was like the 5th or 6th. Yeah, I was like, Tanner very well might just have back-to-back Maddoxes, which certainly would have been something. The game prior was the Angels game, in which he gave up the only 4 earned of his season so far. Tanner went 5 2/3, and those runs came in the 6th. So no, never mind. So no, you were right. 15 innings. 15 innings are just about scoreless for Tanner. But yeah, those are my closing notes. Tanner, good. Connor, good. Bob's your everyday first baseman. There's nobody else. You can't put him there. Rafaela, officially your everyday shortstop, ladies and gentlemen. So,
yeah, that was something that I hate when media is a step ahead of management, and it was super inevitable. And when they just resist for a week and lose a couple more games than they should have before doing the obvious thing, that's a little frustrating. But overall, Cora has done an insanely good job, so you can't really get too upset. But yeah, that does piss me off.
Well, any other closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, we have to do series MVP.
No, we don't.
Josh. I'm thinking Josh Naylor, probably.
I hate Josh Naylor.
I know you do.
He's so ugly, and he's so full of himself. And how are you that full of yourself when you're that ugly? Look at him. Have you seen him?
Did you know his brother is also on the team?
No way. Did his other brother also get drafted by the A's?
That's crazy that you just brought that up, because I can't believe you just pulled that out of nowhere. Because
wait, did that
that's
happen?
Actually true. Yeah, that's
Are you serious?
True. Yeah.
What?
I believe his name is Miles. That could be
wrong.
Wait,
what is he, like a fucking catcher or something?
Probably.
Wait, did he go in the first round?
He did go in the first round.
What?
Yeah.
I don't care
makes
about the
you
Nailers.
think.
Hate the Nailers.
Kind of makes you think why Josh wasn't catching. I'm also
ego.
Like, you just couldn't
ego. Us catchers, we don't have egos. We're there to play the game.
I think he might be third baseman. The younger brother?
Miles? No,
Yeah,
he's a
yeah,
catcher.
third baseman.
No, he's a catcher.
Actually, listed as a third baseman most. Okay, I gotta agree with MLB.com has some wild choices here. He has played, it looks like he has 3 innings at third base and 358 at shortstop. They have him listed at third base.
And isn't it crazy that he's going to be a catcher?
Okay. Yeah, so
I'm telling you. All right, well, that'll do it because we're not going to do series MVP for the other team.
well,
So we'll catch you guys back here. What?
No. Oh, dude, this is really starting to grind my gears.
What?
It doesn't
Did we forget
feel
something?
I didn't forget anything, no. Are you thinking of something you
The
have
weather,
maybe
dude. We don't do the weather look ahead.
I know we don't do the
Steve
weather
took that
update.
one. They're doing it. He's getting in trouble a lot over there. I guess he keeps messing up the weather, and the people over there have the balls to call him out when he messes up, rather than sitting here and being like, "That's okay, man. You tried your best." So
That's not what I'm talking about, Joey. And honestly, I feel like at a point you should just remember that after we do, I know like the order gets a little weird because sometimes we do series MVP lately. There hasn't been many to go around, but we're forgetting. We're forgetting about pitching.
we're forgetting Cy Young of the series.
Well, that's just a segment you just made up. No. It's close, sort of. It's sort of close to. It's about pitching. It's the pitching preview.
Okay, folks, it's 3 games back home against the Chicago Cubbies. Game 1 is going to be Shota Imanaga versus Cutter Crawford. 2 guys with ERAs below 1. Imanaga allowed his first earned runs of his major league career his last time out against the Marlins, of all teams, 21 Ks through 21 and a third innings. Cutter Crawford has a 9.9 K per 9 with 30 strikeouts in 27 and a third innings. But this is a special outing for him, folks, and I think you know why. Say it with me. He hates Bears. Last July, he threw 6 scoreless, 1-hit innings with 9 strikeouts at Wrigley Field. Game 2 is going to be TBD versus Josh Winkowski. By now, folks, you have seen the headlines. You've read the articles. You've seen clips of other Sox players crying in the clubhouse. It's official. TBD is a Cub. This is going to be an emotional one, folks. Get your stretchers in pregame because you can only imagine there will be quite a few standing ovations. Josh Winkowski is a starter now. Cool. He started in Pittsburgh. He went 3 1/3. Whatever. Game 3 is going to be Jordan Wicks versus Tanner Houck. Jordan Wicks is a 24-year-old from Arkansas. Oh, shit. Arkansas? The same state as Hall of Fame Cubs pitcher Dizzy Dean? J. Hannah the Great Man Dean? Brother of Paul Dean? Not related to Paula Dean? His father was a sharecropper? Do you know what a sharecropper is?
Nope.
Neither do I. 4.7 ERA and 5 starts for Jordan Wicks. And Tanner Houck, the workhorse, 1.65 ERA. At least 6 innings in all but one of his starts where he was just an out shy. Pitch count over 90 in his 4 last starts. Dude rocks, and that is going to do it for your pitching preview. Now, Scott, Cubs at Fenway in the past. Big deal. This is the first year where this is just going to be an oscillating thing. Every other year, Cubs come here. Basically, when they they started doing the whole accelerated interleague, whatever, back and forth, home and home shit, the better scheduling stuff. Basically, there were 2 teams everybody was excited about, and it was 3. It's the Dodgers, the Cubs, and the Mets. I will tell you, not to be a downer here on Fenway attendance and the team, and nobody gives a shit about the Red Sox because
it's going to be so many Cubs. That's going to be your take, isn't it?
There's going to be no. It wasn't even going to be that. It was going to be that there's a ton of tickets available and they're really cheap, like every game for a weekend series of Cubs at Fenway. I was shocked by that.
Let me reframe my take. I think there's going to be just as many Cubs as there usually are. I think there's going to be 26 players on the roster. I think the Cubs fans, though, I think this could be one of those when me and Steve went last year to the Dodgers home series, like at Fenway. It was the most away game I've ever been to. It was more of an away game than most Red Sox away games. It was, I mean, Jason Hayward before the game went out to stretch, and you would have thought he hit a walk-off home run. It was, I will never forget. They did this thing where whenever these guys saw them like get out of the dugout, it was like a standing ovation at like 6:00. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
We were talking to Dodgers fans, and we were just like, "What is going on?" They sent like a 2,000 person party over there. It was like one group, and then there was like a lot of others. Yeah, so I could see that happening, but yeah, you're right about that. That's a big problem. I also didn't know Shota versus Cutter is like maybe the most exciting matchup of this year that you can put together.
That should be national television. Unironically, like I know that we've kind of been like, oh wow, Cutter's the best pitcher in baseball. Like Cutter is the best pitcher in baseball. Yeah,
he's the best. It's either him or Shota, and the best in the AL, best in the NL. Going toe to toe. Yes, it's April. Will that be the case in July? Who knows? But right now, that's what we're looking at. Shota looks pretty good, and that guy literally wrote a book on pitching, how to pitch. So I would have signed him, and that's not me getting saying it after. There's so many articles about me complaining about the Red Sox offseason, wishing we would sign him.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair.
I think he'll middle out.
Good guys out there. A couple of good guys out there that didn't get. But hey, such is life. Such is life. What are you gonna do?
He was the biggest Japanese pitching free agent out there. Had to have been.
Probably number one. I mean, who else was there? I can't think of anybody.
Is it real?
No.
Oh, okay. There was a second.
I'm a very good actor. I'm just a very good actor.
You are. You used to be in film.
I used to work in film. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that ever.
Yeah. Also, we got an IMDb page. Also, Game 2 sneaky matchup here. Something I'm surprised that didn't come up in the pitching preview.
What?
Winkowski hates Wrigley.
Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Standard.
The Josh was unimpressed by everything last year.
A little underwhelming. It's a very stock standard. That was 2 years ago. That was his rookie year. That was when he had like a 5 ERA. Yeah.
That's awesome.
A little underwhelming, very stock standard. He just, it's just a park. The bases are just as far as every other place. I don't get it. The mound is just as far as home plate as always. I don't understand what the big deal is here.
That's so funny. I forgot about that.
So he's going to win that one.
Do you think that's like bulletin board material for them? Like, actually, do you think that they're like, hey, this guy shit on your home? Do you think they care about that at all?
I think if it happened like this year and he was a bigger star, yes. I don't think anyone on the 2024 Cubs know that quote was mentioned.
Yeah, that's fair.
I also think it's kind of a weird, like, if you're a Cub, say a couple years, and someone says your stadium sucks, like that's kind of hard to be like, oh, I didn't build this, like. I guess there's a little bit like I think that Cora would take offense to that if someone said it about Fenway, and there's definitely players on the team that would get upset. But I think the average, Pete Crow Armstrong making his debut today, I don't know if he's going to be like, how dare you,
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe, you're in the minors, you need some motivation. You're like, the Red Sox
Did you hear?
sixth starter said what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're sitting in Double-A, and you're like, he said, what? Not about
seventh starter. He's behind
seventh
Cooper.
starter. Well, this was 2022.
Oh.
Yeah.
At the time, 2021. No, July 2nd, 2022. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I doubt that.
No. I wasn't in Chicago, but I was like around.
You were alive.
I was alive. Yeah.
That makes sense. That's when you started
do you
growing that hair.
have a closing? What?
I said that's when you started growing out that hair.
Yeah. Can I be honest on here? This is a very honest episode. This is a very like just between us episode. If you guys are listening,
are you about to say that you hate cancer? Or hate cancer?
Oh, I do. I do hate cancer.
Yeah. Damn it. I
hate cancer. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm not a fan at all. No. Here's a secret. I'm like, my hair's like just getting to a length where I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I could keep growing it. And I like remembered the other day. I was like, right. I'm shaving it for kids with cancer. So,
yeah.
So I can't back out, but If this was just a scheduled haircut, I would cancel it. But it's not that. And I appreciate everybody who has donated. A couple of more donations today. So thank you to Zach and Hillary. I know Mike was on there. A couple of other folks that I'm forgetting right now. Actually, let me pull it up so I can actually thank people because they deserve to be thanked. I understand that times are the way they are. Times are tough. Money's tight. So if you have donated, I really do appreciate it. And if you've just shared the page, I really appreciate it because there are people out there who do have the ability to donate. So thank you to Amanda. Thank you to Zach. Thank you to Hillary, Chris, Mike with the Nomar dog. Thank you to Roy. Thank you to AJ and others. Those are just the top people that I can see on there. So thank you to you guys for donating. And I will be cutting my hair, even though now I don't want to. Any closing thought from you, Scott?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a closing thought or what the hell would we call it?
I don't know.
Emptying your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. We haven't done one of those in a while.
Yeah,
Let's put it in there. So I've been expanding my company and adding more writers and such, and with that comes hundreds of applicants for baseball, looking for baseball and football writers. Need a couple people for basketball, but mostly baseball and football. And going through these resumes and seeing what some of these companies have titled certain positions has given me a good giggle. The top one today that I was like, I'm going to write this down. Subway, the guys on the line, they're called sandwich artists.
I knew that one. I did know that
and I
one.
like that. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I like that. I like that they are doing made-up titles and having a good time with it.
That's what it should be. When I worked at Hollister, I was just a guy who worked at Hollister, but they call their in-store employees models.
Oh,
so that means on my resume for you, I don't use it on my resume anymore. It's not really relevant work experience, but it says model at Hollister. So I was a Hollister model for a bit. You guys can't take that away from me.
That is true. I think I remember Lululemon had, they call them educators. They're just regular people that go around and be like, "Can you help with anything?"
Yeah. That's awesome that they do that.
An inventory processing educator, community cool. Oh, that's not one. Part-time educator, seasonal educator. I like that. Pretty sure that's just a teacher. But yeah. So I don't know.
We're just fucking up people's resumes because you can just put whatever now.
Oh yeah. I mean, I get to own my own thing. I can call myself whatever I want. You can get a made-up title in my company if you want.
Can I have one?
Do you want to be the chief baseball officer?
Can I?
Yeah.
What an honor. Can I put in my Twitter bio CBO of Inside the Red Sox?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys just heard me get a promotion. See, that's what hard work does. Because when you pump out articles at the rate that I do,
the rate is, yeah,
there's a rate. And listen, is Bobby Dahlbeck on a major league roster?
Yep.
Is he everyone's favorite player?
Not all positions are earned, is what you're trying to say.
What I'm saying is it's not about quantity. It's about quality. That's why he's the everyday first baseman. That's why I'm the chief baseball officer of Inside the Red Sox. My son started T-ball today. He's going to be so much better than everybody else. Do you want to guess what number he picked?
4.
Very close. 3. It's as close as you could have got.
It's true.
A couple of good guys wore 3. I don't know if you know them, but a couple of good players. Reese McGuire. A couple other good guys have worn 3. That guy in Philly wears 3 now. Back in the day,
there killed his wife.
That guy that killed his wife wore 3 back
Good
in the
role
day.
model. Reese McGuire and Babe Ruth. Great role models you got there. Step. Got a couple of good role models. Hopefully it'll be like those two.
Yep, you can only hope. Hey, listen. Did they do bad things off the field? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But are they both legends in the game?
No.
Yes.
One of
yes,
them
they
is.
are. They both are equal.
Mm-hmm.
One has a nicer swing than the other.
Oh. This is quick, but they ruined Players Weekend.
Oh yeah, what was that about?
You're no longer doing like nicknames that are cool. They're doing like it's not nicknames. It's Friday is called Fun. August 16th. Fun aspects of players' personalities, friendships, and off-field interests will be featured. Saturday is Causes. You'll love that one. August 17th. Focus will be on charitable community initiatives that are important to players. And Sunday is Appreciation. Players will celebrate the people who helped them on their path to the major leagues. So,
what does that mean? They're gonna wear like mom on the back of their jersey.
That's what I'm saying. Is like
They're not gonna make 3 jerseys. They're not gonna do that.
Yeah. It says a different aspect of players' lives will be highlighted each day through game presentation elements, in-stadium broadcasts, enhancements with media partners, social media, whatever. The players will wear special new era caps featuring each player's uniform number on the side panel so they can sell more crap. Players will also be able to utilize customized bats during the game.
Sure.
Can wear cleats with personalized designs. There'll be no changes to the uniforms or players' names on their jerseys.
Sick. Nice. Okay, cool. So it's nothing. Nice.
Yes.
So Players Weekend is nothing.
I thought originally, when the first time I read it, they were going to talk about like personality traits on day 1, charities on day 2. So it would be like happy, number 11.
Yeah, video games.
And then, dude, that would have been awesome. Day 2, just United Way stepping up to the plate here. With the bases loaded.
Susan G. Komen stepping in.
So they took the fun out of it and made it about the community. A bunch of nerds.
Dumb. Well, maybe they'll win a game on Players Weekend this year. When is it?
Nope.
July?
July 16th through 18th. Yes, 16th through 18th.
Word. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Follow us on the socials at ITM_pod, and we will be back here. Monday's an off day, right? Maybe we'll come Sunday night. Maybe we'll come Monday. Who knows?
Who cares? Whatever you least expect.
Doesn't matter. You guys will find us. We'll be here. We'll find you. We'll track you down. But anyway, in the meantime, I already said follow us on the socials. Follow me on the socials at Joey Capone. Follow Scott at Scott Neville 46, like Jacoby Ellsbury. And we will see you guys after this thrilling series against the Chicago Cubs. For Steve,
whoa!
I almost said for Joey Capone, I'm Steve Peralta is what I actually almost said. This ending sucks. Why did he make that the ending? Can we change the ending of the show?
We can do whatever we want now. Wow.
All right.
Within reason.
How about this? Bye.